What's good, my people? It's your boy Nick, aka your slice of Fijian spice, blessing your screens with another video. This is gonna be a little bit different. I can't lie. I actually did an interview with the person on my left before, but obviously things sort of messed up on my end, didn't it? So I do apologize for that. But we're here. That's all that matters. And nevertheless, I will introduce you to a very special guest of mine. He is the first person to introduce me on his podcast. He goes by the name of Klynt from the Through the Cow podcast. I will link all of his socials in the description. But without further ado, Klynt, how are you, my brother?
I'm not too bad. Thank you for having me.
Good,
And
good,
obviously
good.
last time we had some technical issues,
We
but hey,
did.
we're back again. We're gonna run it
Yes,
back
I
and
swear
hopefully,
down. It was a ball ache on my end when it comes to editing it. I swear down. Because literally I trimmed everything. It was perfect. And when it
yeah,
came to uploading, it said that there was not enough memory. And literally I deleted as much as I could. And I
yeah,
was like, listen, if I delete any more stuff, it's gonna be I'm not gonna have anything left on my flipping
yeah,
computer. So I was like, no, this is taking a piss now.
yeah.
So yeah, yeah.
I remember when I
Um
got started, I had to get a new laptop and everything like that. And even now, my
man,
OneDrive and all that sort of stuff is always full. So I have to like
it
delete
is.
like stuff from a couple months ago. But luckily, I've got it on. It's all on YouTube now. So if I need anything, I just grab it from there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly. So for first and foremost, how have you been just in general? How you been?
Uh, I've been all right actually. Just been, working as
Yeah.
usual, running around. Obviously, I'm trying to do the podcast as well. I'm a personal trainer, running
Yes.
around, running around London, saving my clients from the dreaded, bad health. And,
Yes. I
and
can
then,
see that with the Spider-Man shirt. I can see that as well.
and I recently just started a new company actually
I'll
last
swear
week.
down.
Well, it went
Wow.
live last week. Started my own car dealership as well.
Really? Wow. Well done,
Yeah,
man. Congratulations.
yeah. So
Congratulations on that.
me and the other
Is there a,
half.
is there a name for it or
Yeah, it's a Dorset Auto Group.
Dorset Auto Group? I'll link all of that in the description as
Yeah.
well.
So, anyone looking for a car, we could source vehicles for you.
There you go, man.
Or,
There
if
you
you're getting
go.
rid of your car, we can try and get you a better rate than you'll normally get just selling it privately.
Say no more. Say no more. No, good to hear that, brother. Good to hear that. Good to
Trying to
hear
build
that.
my winning enterprises,
Yeah, exactly, man. That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. So, I want to ask first and foremost, I just in general, how did you get into the whole podcasting space?
I think for years it's more of like I consume a lot of like sort of YouTube content.
Mm,
I have done for many, many years. And because of the stuff that I was interested in, it was nice finding videos from people who talk about what I like. They
mm,
talk about movies more in depth. They talk about superheroes. They talk about um, sports, all these different things. And I sort of thought to myself, like, a lot of the time, people were saying things that I was already thinking.
mm-hmm,
And I was thinking, like, their thoughts, why can't I express my thoughts as well?
mm,
Get them out there and say, like, this is what I think. Not in have to competition with these people, not to say, like, I know more than them or they know more than me. Just
yeah,
me also just expressing myself
yeah,
and try and build like my own platform.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when I first started through the cow, it was in 2016,
Right,
and it was originally just a YouTube show. So me and my
right, okay,
colleague Debbie, who I do the show with,
yeah,
we would sit down, we sit on the sofa, we had our own little set sort of thing, or we'd like do it in my old gym.
yes,
I'd set up a camera in the gym and we'll just like talk about back then we would talk about Flash, Arrow, um,
wow,
what's the other ones that were like Gotham, all those
yeah,
all those sort of programs that were going and all the sort of films around the 2016 time, like the Avengers and Age of Ultron and all those different sort of things. So
mm,
and we used to do like reactions to trailers of movies coming out as well.
mm,
Obviously at the time I didn't know that YouTube was so strict on their policy. So loads of our videos got banned anyway because we were using content that we weren't allowed to use.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But it was good fun. It was a good sort of eye opener, and we really like saw that we were a good team together.
yeah,
So after a bit of a break, we've come back sort of early this year, and we've started like doing it as a podcast. So now it's out, and it is out on YouTube as a show, but it's also goes up on Spotify and a few other places. We're just two friends having a good time talking about
having a
what we've watched,
conversation, yeah,
and then put it out there because you never know,
yeah,
we might resonate with someone.
yeah, yeah. No, because obviously, for those of you who don't know, I actually jumped on their podcast. They kindly invited me on after I asked. I can't lie, got to shoot my shot sometimes, innit?
Yeah,
But no, it was a really interesting conversation because for me personally, when I was on there, I felt like for the first time in a long time, I could have these types of discussions that I have with my friends, but with other people.
yeah,
It's not, it doesn't feel like it's weird. You see what I'm trying to say?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you have no idea how much I'd like to talk about this shit, but I have literally nobody to talk about it with. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
So, yeah, no, it was really, really nice, and it was really refreshing.
is it
But
because it is still like a very niche sort of like topic or like ball of like a ball of like people who beforehand, especially like you're a bit younger, but like from my years, and same with like Kibbs from the Brothers Geek Out,
yes, yes,
like we didn't have those outlets. You
yeah,
know, every now and then you wouldn't even hear the conversation in the barbershop.
yeah, yeah,
So every now and then, if you went past like a comic book shop or stuff like that, you might get a conversation going.
yeah,
Or if someone sees you secretly wearing like your Superman t-shirt underneath your like your school uniform or
yeah,
underneath your work clothes, and then they're like, you like Superman? Yeah, I like Superman. And then like
yeah,
something
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's that's
and like
tough.
now, thanks to things like the internet, thanks to things like TikTok and stuff like that, you get to build this community
So many, yeah,
with different people who are just like, into what you're into.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's really refreshing to see as well. Um, but can I just ask, what was it about, I think superheroes specifically that because I know you talk about multiple different things. You talk about, movies, you talk about sports as well. You also talk
Yeah,
about um like games, but like from my understanding, having been
yeah,
on the show and obviously watching your content, superheroes is like a main sort of like thing in it. So like what
yeah.
about because even behind you, I'm seeing Daredevil, I'm seeing like Wolverine and all that. So clearly these guys must be
It,
important in your life. And obviously I can completely
yeah.
understand, but you
I
know,
think for me, growing up in quite a strict ethnic household,
right,
very religious. I think for me, what it was the fact that when I could get hold of some of this content, it was like a nice outlet.
right, okay.
And you could see like a lot of these characters within comic books lived a lot of time double lives.
Mm-mm.
So it was like, I was one person at home or had to be this person at home. And then when I managed to get out to go to school or go to
Mm.
college or go to wherever and be around like other peers, and it's like this whole different sort of wilder character came out, but
Yeah,
still
yeah.
had but still had the same morals that I had at home.
You're right,
They
okay.
keep they keep me sort of like grounded without going too crazy when I'm outside,
Yeah, yeah,
you know. So from a young age, I got invested in like the Hulk and obviously Batman. Obviously those times it was Adam West and you had Lou Ferrigno was the Hulk and all those sort of characters and stuff. So, but it was like all these shows that I watched, the A Team and all these guys, all these these guys were like people I looked up to,
yeah,
and it just sort of even my job, everything I do, personal training, all that sort of stuff, it just came from watching these characters become have the peak of their abilities.
yeah,
And I wanted to be that. I wanted to do that.
yeah,
When I was a kid, I wanted to learn every martial art because
yeah,
I wanted to do all this stuff. I wanted to, because obviously I knew it wasn't real, but part of my
yeah,
brain was like, I could be that guy.
yeah, yeah,
So for me, superheroes for me have always been like a North Star.
right. So with that being said, would you say that there was like, would you say that you had like top three superheroes that you'd say inspired you the most?
Yeah, I think it's well, obviously Batman is my favorite hero,
Come on,
but
man. We all love Batman, man. We
yeah,
love Batman. We all love
and I
Batman.
think obviously him being super rich and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, it's all well and good, but it was the characters who again were physically not special, but they worked their ass off to be the peak of their physical ability
Right, I
and
see.
be the best of the best.
Yeah,
You know, so and again, like think characters like the Hulk having those two split personalities
yeah.
as well. Not that I'm saying I'm bipolar or have split personalities,
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I'd be
but it was just
scared
like
if that were the case.
yeah. So things like him, he just made me want. I wanted to be strong.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
I wanted to be powerful, and it
yeah,
was just And even like again, like sports and stuff. Like I used to watch a lot of wrestling
Right. Okay.
and all that sort of stuff, and it was just like these superhuman characters who are real people just sort of show me like there is a way that you could do it. You
Mm.
might not be able to jump off rooftops, but
Yeah.
on a ground level, you know you could be pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in regards to top three superheroes, I'd say Batman's number one.
Mm. Love
I'd
Batman.
say Ghost Rider number three
Really? Okay. I wouldn't have expected that.
because I love motorcycles as well. So
Yeah.
when I
Okay.
first found
Yeah.
a character that could
Yeah.
that rode motorcycles was with the pennants there and all that sort of stuff and make
Oh
people
yeah.
like I'm a fan of not necessarily vengeance, but I'm a fan of
Yeah.
justice.
Yes. Of course. Of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I was a fan of Ghost Rider, and I think I'd say Blade
Okay.
would be
Yeah.
my top one because again, you could be a fan of Superman, Batman, all those sort of characters, but it's not all about race. But at the end of the day, they were white characters.
Mm.
But even when I was a kid and I'd wear like a certain shirt of a certain superhero, like but you're black.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But so when I first sort of come across Blade in the Spider-Man comics, I was like, he's like me,
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
So I kind of gravitated to like Blade as well.
And he's actually British as well. I never even realized
Yeah,
that. In the comments, he's actually British.
yeah,
No, it's mad you say that, man, because I think for me personally as well, I definitely growing up, I definitely had some superheroes that I gravitated towards and definitely like looked up to. Um, for me, I'd say the person that you've got on your shirt right now, Spider-Man,
yeah,
like
yeah,
he was always like, one of my favorite characters. I didn't really know how much I loved him. Pause on
yeah,
love.
no, no, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm trying to say? But like he was always like a big inspiration, do you know what I'm trying to say?
yeah,
Because the thing is, in spite of the fact that he's got superpowers and all of that type of stuff, he was always somebody that had um that
ground base.
not only just ground based, but just I respected his morals. I respected his
Yeah, yeah,
character. I respected the fact that in spite of all of the hardship and all of the bullshit that he went through, the people that he wasn't able to save, the villains that would constantly torment him,
yeah,
Green Goblin, Doc Ock, and all of these
yeah,
types of people that kept snatching away all of the people that were around him,
yeah,
he always remained positive
yeah,
and he'd always see the best of a bad situation. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
yeah, and
Um,
not let his anger and his hurt
exactly,
like spill
exactly.
out of him.
And it because for me that it's a very very strong test of character because if you've got
Yeah,
somebody who um they just something bad happens to them and then
yeah,
you've got that whole thing where they go through their little villain arc and everything like
yeah,
that,
yeah,
they decide to go down the wrong path. People oftentimes underestimate how much strength and character it takes to still remain true to your values
yeah,
and your good nature, and
yeah,
instead of just conforming and turning bad. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
yeah, yeah.
And I've always admired that about Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
Again,
he's definitely probably and people don't actually realize how strong Spider-Man actually is and
exactly, and
how
the fact
much
that he
he
holds
hold
back.
and how much
Yeah.
he holds back.
Exactly, exactly. So for me, it's Spider-Man. Batman, definitely. I've always loved Batman. Just the idea of a rich billionaire that can train multiple martial arts and become he's like a multi-billionaire by day and by night. He's dressing up as a Batman,
Yeah,
literally just kicking ass in a flipping dark
yeah,
costume, being all stealth and everything like that.
yeah,
There's always I think mainly because similar to what you were saying, because he doesn't have any powers and just relies on what it is that he has.
yeah,
Uh, that's always
yeah. His
appealed to me.
wits, his
Yeah, exactly,
knowledge, what he doesn't
exactly.
know, he tries to figure out.
And
You know,
also, for me, I've noticed quite recently that um, I'm more of a fan of street level type superheroes.
yeah,
Comics that because I find myself being more interested because they're very, very grounded, and you
yeah,
can oftentimes relate to
yeah.
them a lot more.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, they're always the ones picking up the pieces of what the galactic fighting superheroes, leave behind.
Exactly. There was one comic that was recommended to me. I can't remember what it's called. It's the one that the David Corn Sweat movie is going to be based on, and I forgot the name. Um, Superman. I don't want to say Superman All Stars, well, because I don't even know if that's the name. Superman something, but I wanted to get it, but
Is that
obviously,
is it animation?
All Star Superman. That's what it's called.
Also, okay.
All Star Superman. Um, it's the one. It's just the comic, and it's just the one that the James Gunn film is going to be based on.
Okay.
Um, and the thing is, I'm sure the film is going to be good, and I'm sure I'll probably end up liking the film and end up reading the comic
Yeah.
anyway. But for me
Yeah.
personally, when I'm reading, comics about, the Flash, Superman, maybe even Green Lantern, it's not
Yeah.
to say that I won't like them. I probably will, but for me personally, those intergalactic crazy, big, explosive, superhuman fights never truly appealed to me in a
Yeah.
comic
Yeah.
when there's somebody in a red costume who's blind that's able to jump through rooftops and
Yeah.
beat shit out of people with just two sticks. For
Yeah.
me, that's been like way more interesting. You know what I'm trying to say, because it's
Yeah.
just
No,
something that's really, really relatable.
nothing like this guy.
Yeah, nothing like that guy. No, nothing like that guy. I'm trying to say. So, yeah, man, that's sort of
But
that's
then also with me, I've also found myself drawn to a lot of the villains. And for
yes,
some reason,
yes,
Magneto has always been one of my favorite villains
yes.
because he still has a code, and there's a reason why his his heart has been turned.
Mm. There's a lot of
And I
parallels
find,
to X-Men, that I didn't
yeah,
realize until I watched when watching these films, and I kind of understand why Eric is doing what it is that he does. You know what I'm trying to say?
because originally those characters are kind of based on um uh Martin Luther King and
Malcolm X.
Malcolm X.
Yeah.
So Magneto was based on Malcolm X, and Xavier was based on Martin Luther King. So one was more peaceful, one was more one was more standout and more like had a little
Execute.
bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I find even with myself, like sometimes, like I said, I'm not a fan of vengeance, but I'm a fan of
Mm,
justice.
mm, mm, mm.
And Magneto for me, he was just like a perfect dichotomy of like what could happen when you push someone a little bit too far, or
Yes.
someone who actually cares about his community and his people.
Yes. Yes. No, that's fair. So, speaking of villains, there
Yeah.
is a particular villain where whose film came out quite recently,
Okay.
The Joker 2. Wally Adu, so to speak.
Yeah.
Bunch of mixed reviews. I've
Yeah.
already filmed a review as well, by the way. It will be dropping soon. Just have to make a couple 1, 2 edits. But um
Make
obviously
sure
I
you check
know,
that out, people. Make sure you check out his review.
yes, of course, of course, of course.
Yeah.
Obviously I saw it.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
haven't seen it yet. My
Haven't.
partner saw it the other day. I think I was babysitting, and she wanted to go watch the film,
Yeah,
and I haven't had a chance to go yet. But the reviews I've got so far, even online, have
yeah.
not been favorable.
Right. Okay.
My partner was a bit, it is what it is, but it gives me this whole sense, and I said it on my podcast, that you've got to look at it as an individual piece of art.
Yes, yes, yes. And this is what I wanted to chat to you about. So, because I watched that part what you said yesterday. I
Yeah,
watched that yesterday.
yeah,
So first and foremost, I'm just gonna, without spoiling it, I'm gonna say it wasn't as bad as what people made it out to be.
yeah,
I then hated the fact that it just turned out to be another artsy film with a particular meaning behind it that just happened to have the Joker's name on it.
yeah.
That's something I really hated.
Exactly
Now,
like the first film.
yes,
Like,
but the thing is, the first film I prefer more so.
yeah,
Um, and obviously, I didn't like the musical elements of it at all. And we'll go into that a little bit later. But
yeah,
to rebuttal what you were saying on your pod, or
yeah.
what you just said right now, about how you should just look at it as a sort of separate film, a separate,
Yes.
yes. My only problem with that is
Hmm.
where the first film had established so much of Bruce Wayne being a kid, Martha and Thomas Wayne getting shot,
Yeah,
Thomas Wayne being so heavily involved in creating the Joker. It's
yeah,
so hard for me not to look at it as a Joker film that in some capacity ties to the DC.
yeah,
If it wasn't so heavily involved, if those characters weren't so heavily involved and were just sort of sprinkled here and there, then I can understand that. But
yeah,
because the first film almost set everything up, and we pretty much saw that by the end of the film, that Joker had fully manifested himself as being the Clown Prince of Crime, or
yeah,
the beginning pieces of what we would know to be a Crown Prince of Crime.
yeah,
Instantly, I'm thinking the sequel is gonna expand on that, and then to have Harley Quinn
yeah. Dr. Quinzel,
join
yeah,
that journey
yeah, yeah,
as an audience member, I'm thinking, right, cool, we're gonna delve into that a little bit more.
yeah,
And where it didn't really hit that, I feel like it was kind of, trying to speak without spoiling much, so
yeah, yeah.
I do
Yeah,
apologize if things don't
I
make
can
sense,
get an
but
idea of, from the reviews I've heard so far. I get the idea, but you got to look at it as, think of it of almost like a mental health movie. Think about it as if because some of the stuff that happened in the first one was, a
yeah,
lot of it was in Arthur's head, where he's
yes,
made up the stories
yes,
to cope.
yes,
So even the Thomas Wayne thing, all that was in his, that was kind of in his head. He'd made up that story,
yes, it was, but
So I think going into the second one, he's in Arkham. He again is still trying to figure out who he is. Everyone
mm,
else is trying to figure out who he is. Because of
yes,
how society is at that point within Gotham, they're looking at him as a hero, someone
yeah,
who's taking back. He is the Robin Hood for a lot of people,
yeah,
you know. So he's now getting the recognition that he wanted for his whole life.
mm,
People are now loving him, and then now he's locked up, and he doesn't know if they actually love Arthur or they love this character, the Joker.
exactly. And this is the thing, because without getting too much into it, when you see the ending, this is what pisses me off, because the ending was almost like a cheap cop out. It was almost like a way out.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna go into it, but when you watch
yeah,
it, you'll know where,
yeah,
or
yeah,
maybe where it is that I'm coming from, because um like I said, this film had really just created this entire idea, because bro, you need to understand as well, prior to Joaquin Phoenix becoming the Joker,
yeah,
only good guy who was a Joker, the last person who was the sickest Joker was Heath Ledger.
yeah,
Every other character tried to take inspiration from Heath Ledger in some capacity,
yeah, yeah,
whether that's flicking up their face, doing the little Glasgow smile,
yeah, yeah,
wearing the long trench coat, cutting up their face, having
yeah,
that gritty, sinister personality.
yeah.
Um, you know,
Because
and
you had Jerome Velasquez in
Exactly,
Gotham.
from Gotham, and then obviously
Yeah,
even Barry Keoghan
yeah,
in Matt Reeves's Batman, he
yeah.
also had a scarred up face and
Dark
was.
Prince, yeah,
Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I feel like for me, a lot of creators, a lot of filmmakers and writers don't know how to create an original Joker without
yeah,
taking inspiration from what Christopher Nolan did for Heath Ledger.
yeah, yeah.
And
It's because
with
they want to, yeah, sorry, yeah, it's because they want that same reaction. They want that
yeah,
feeling that he was created.
exactly. But what you need to what, well, not you, but like what people
Yeah,
need to understand is Christopher Nolan didn't set out to create a reaction. The say
yeah,
like he understood the and even Heath Ledger, they both understood the impact that Jack Nicholson's Joker had, but
yeah,
they also understood what it was that they were doing and made that their own thing.
yeah,
And for years, we had so many people that were trying to replicate this Heath Ledger thing that it was
yeah,
just so fucking annoying to watch.
yeah,
But then the moment we see Joaquin Phoenix go into his version of the Joker, and how the reason why he laughs is because of a mental condition,
yeah,
and um uh sort of you see him in have like more of a flamboyant, campy personality. You see him wear the
Yeah,
clown makeup, the
yeah,
green hair, dancing, and all of this stuff. It makes you think, right, finally, this is something new, this is someone new. Are
yeah,
we gonna, see more of that? Are we not gonna see more of that, For
yeah.
that, and I was always looking forward to that when, when I was watching it. Um,
I'm still looking forward to seeing the movie. It's just I'm looking for I don't say looking forward to it because obviously I was kind of mellow with the first one. I gathered what it was, but like I've said many, many times, that could have been any movie
it could,
and
yeah.
not have the Joker title at all.
Do you know what's mad? Yeah, there was this show I was watching called Sweet Pea. It
Yeah,
just come out, yeah, and I thought about what it is that what you said when we filmed it the last time,
yeah,
um, and it literally made me think that this could basically be another. Sorry, can you still see me? I don't know
yeah,
if the
yeah,
thing is okay. I honestly thought that this could basically be like another Harley Quinn movie or something like that. Do you know what I'm
yeah,
trying
yeah,
to say? So, for me, it pretty much sort of had that sort of same impact.
yeah. You
Um,
know, yeah, I feel like the next one. Obviously, I'm not looking forward to some of the singing scenes, but I'm thinking as long as I go in there with that, knowing in my head why these some of these scenes are going to be in there,
mm,
because like Debbie's seen it and she goes, if you look at it as the fact that this is the way that two possibly mentally unstable people are communicating with each other,
yeah,
you've got to look at it as that's their love language.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
he's only apparently she said to me, they're only that singing stuff only happens when they're in their personas.
yeah, exactly, exactly. That for
And
me,
that could also be what's happening inside Harley's head. I
that's
haven't seen it
true.
yet, but that could
Yes,
be what's happening in Harley's head, but she's in love.
yes.
But is she in love with? But again, is she in love with Arthur or is she in love with the Joker character?
In regards, because it's so annoying because you haven't seen it, that's the thing.
Yeah,
But no, I'm totally on board with the singing of what you were saying there, because for me, and this is the other issue that I've had, I've done musicals before, I've watched musicals before. I'm not a fan of them,
yeah,
but I know how to distinguish the two. The whole point of a musical is when the characters are singing, they are basically relaying their thoughts and emotions
yeah,
of what it is that they're feeling at the particular time.
yeah.
For me, I felt like that the um the musical numbers, um I felt like Todd Phillips just basically used those musical numbers as a way to try and
Wow.
explain certain moods and emotions that the
Yeah.
audience may or may not have missed in
Okay.
the dialogue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? For
Okay.
me, when I was watching it, I caught everything in the dialogue, but
Yeah. Yeah.
to then wait for another 2 minutes for this flipping song to end, for
Yeah.
any people that were slow that didn't catch it. And for me, it was really annoying because it was almost like he was building it up, building it up, building it up, and then all of a sudden, boom, we
Yeah.
get hit with a musical number, and it's just like, oh, for fuck's sake, I gotta wait through this. And it
Yeah.
almost sort of dampened my sort of
That moment.
that moment, you know what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say? And that I really didn't like about it, because there was so many scenes where I'm like, oh shit, what's gonna happen next? What's gonna happen next? And then it just got killed because of that. And there was
Yeah.
a lot. To me, it didn't feel like a musical. It felt like a movie with a bunch of musical numbers in it.
Yeah.
So
Do you feel like I haven't seen it, but do you feel like the music really coincided with the scene, or and did it have enough impact to make it like a warmer scene to actually like make you feel something inside, or do you feel
um
like it was or just a song thrown in there that sort of
no, I think it was done like cleverly as a way to um help reflect the mood of what the characters were feeling, but I
okay,
didn't think it needed it. That's what I'm saying, because the
okay,
dialogue clearly explains, and the dialogue, the reactions that that all the characters are feeling, you get that in the dialogue.
yeah,
You don't need the musical number. The musical number was just there. I don't even know why it is that he decided to go down that route in
yeah,
particular. I'm not too sure if it was because Lady Gaga was
yeah.
she's known to be a
Maybe
singer
I
and
don't.
whatever, and they
Yeah,
just
maybe
wanted to
he
impress her.
was trying to steal from the movie that she had with what's his name? Was it A Star Is Born?
Maybe, yeah, something like
Maybe he
that.
was trying to
But
steal from that. But for me, obviously, I haven't seen the movie, but I think if they did it inside, like have you ever seen Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber? So
yeah,
that
yeah,
was kind of like a musical,
yeah,
but that music was very impactful. Like you didn't even care with the transitions because it was just like this is this is a movie musical and how it should be done.
That's what I'm saying. That was a movie musical because it was made to be like that. This
Yeah,
is made to be like that, but it feels more like um the songs were just there to sort of help elevate certain scenes.
yeah,
But it was just like it was a bit tedious because, like I said, I knew what the characters were thinking and feeling, and now I have to basically listen to it again
yeah, yeah,
through a flipping 2 minute song, and it's just like, oh come on, man,
yeah.
this
I am a little bit worried about watching it because obviously just from like the fact that I have even before now I've already had to talk myself into how to receive the movie.
yeah,
I feel like I might go in there and I'll be bored within the first 45 minutes.
yeah,
I'm worried about that, but I still have to try and give this movie the proper attention that it deserves at this
yeah,
stage without seeing it, you know?
yeah,
Because certain films I normally see day one. You know what I mean? So I don't have to worry about
yeah.
comments prior, but
Oh, sweet, yeah. Um, no, that's crazy, man. Yeah, it's an interesting one because I know as well the joke. I know Todd Phillips didn't have any interaction with the people at Warner Brothers, and he wanted James Gunn completely out of it as well.
yeah,
And
yeah.
part of me thinks that he knew that he was going to get a negative reaction out of it.
That's really sad. But you know, what I mean, because Todd, you know, obviously you want to be able to get another job after this. But
That's the thing. That's the thing.
but there has been notice to saying that, you know, he knew he was walking away after this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um,
So
but you know,
in his mind, he was thinking maybe he was gonna drop like an absolute classic, but it just didn't get the. But the thing is with Warner Brothers, they've been renowned for when they get their hands on a movie, cutting stuff out and rejigging stuff. You know what I mean? So
and
who
this
knows when the contract's out, you know, everything's out of the way, you might get a thing from Top Flip saying like, "That's not the movie I made,"
and
just like Zack Snyder did.
this is what I'm really worried about because I mentioned it in my I meant because of things like that. I'm worried that the Joker is slowly starting to become one of those characters that people are starting to get wrong. That
Yeah,
um, it's gonna take. Excuse me. It's gonna take an almost miracle in order to get right.
yeah. But I've said this plenty of times now. I don't need Joker right now. I don't
I
need Joker.
do 100%.
I need
I do
Joker for a
not
long
need
time.
Joker. I do not need Joker. I don't want Joker, but I know people are gonna want to see it. So if they are gonna make a Joker, then please make it good because obviously James Gunn, he's the head of DC now.
Yeah,
It's all in his hands. It's all in his hands. As far
yeah,
as Matt Reeves' universe goes, I'm more than happy with seeing someone like Professor Pig,
yeah.
Black Mask
Oh, that would be fantastic.
would be amazing. Black Mask,
Firefly, Black
Hush,
Mask,
yeah, Hush, Firefly, flipping Roman Sionis,
yeah,
um,
Mr. Freeze,
Mr. Freeze. I
a
know
a
from
decent Killer Croc,
yes, yes. Um, I'd be
Man Bat.
interested. Yeah, I would. Do you know what? I would be really interested to see what's his name? Mad Hatter, Jervis Tetch.
Yeah,
Uh, I saw this casting somewhere on TikTok. And I can imagine seeing someone like David Tennant playing Mad Hatter. I
work.
think it's like,
That could work. After seeing him as the Purple Man
yes.
in
Oh,
Jessica Jones,
Jessica Jones. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He
yeah,
killed it in
yeah,
that, man.
they could make that guy into an absolute freak that would scare you when you leave the cinema. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and I'm happy with David Tennant as well. Or happy for David Tennant because I remember for a long time he was caught in the Doctor Who loop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Every single cast, every single character that he would play, everyone were always saying, "Oh yeah, it's the Doctor, it's the Doctor, it's the Doctor."
yeah,
But I feel like from watching him and Jessica Jones, I haven't seen it, but I've seen clips of him in Good Omens.
yeah, yeah,
Um, he's slowly starting to break away from that. I know he's
yeah,
got
yeah.
one other TV show on Amazon Prime coming on. I forgot what that's called. But that looks quite interesting as well.
Yeah.
So,
I tell you
only
what,
time will tell. I just
if I could have anyone play either, could play the Mad Hatter, give me Andy Serkis. I like David Tennant, but give me Andy Serkis.
okay,
His creepy, he's not creepy, but I mean, he has a certain look about him,
okay,
a certain facial expressions,
okay,
and he's quite stocky.
yeah.
I could see him being
Oh yeah.
a maniacal genius.
Now that you said that, I hear it. Okay, so let me ask you then. if you
Yeah.
had to pick somebody who could play the Joker, then just in a separate universe, who would you play? They could be young, they could be old, doesn't matter. Because I made a video on this as well, on who I would cast.
Who would I cast as the Joker? Who's got the you? It depends on which Joker I want.
Bear in mind, this is spitballing any type of Joker,
Any type of Joker.
any type. They give me multiple as well.
Yeah. All right. Let me see. So I'll go for. Hmm.
I can hear your brain scanning now.
Yeah. Because I'm looking for people who already have the face.
Shall I give you a head start?
Yeah.
This is the one I picked. Willem Dafoe. I think he would be fucking
That's
sick.
yeah. That's everyone's kind. That's like the holy grail.
That
And
is, but I've been saying it before everyone else was saying it. I'm just letting you know, like I've been saying
he wants that role. He
that.
wants it.
He does, he does. I would also say Aaron Taylor Johnson. I think would be very good as Joker. Um, have you seen him in Nocturnal Animals?
I haven't seen him in Nocturnal Animals. I've seen him in like Bullet Train. I've seen him in a few others.
I think
Um,
I think he could potentially be another Heath Ledger in the sense that he's one of those actors that could really surprise people.
yeah, and he could, and because of his size and the way he's been in some of these military films, I could see him as that sort of the Joker who is more military trained and give Batman a real fight.
I can see him playing the camp Joker as well, a bit of
Yeah,
a campy, flamboyant Joker.
yeah.
Uh, in Nocturnal Animals, not saying that he was camping over the top, but he was a lot more expressionate and very, very like shocking and disturbing to watch. I can definitely see him playing someone like that, and I think that him and Robert Pattinson would somehow have some good chemistry. I can imagine them being able to bounce off each other very, very well. 100%.
I'll tell you who.
Go on, go
What
on.
I can't think of his real name. I can't think of his real name right now. This always happens to me when I'm on camera.
Yeah.
Oh, Anthony Starr, who plays Homelander.
Really, really. Okay.
Him as the Joker could be insane.
Okay.
He
For
already
me,
has that maniacal. He already pulls off that maniacal look as Homelander.
he does. But for me, I'd prefer him as the reverse Flash. I can't lie. I'd prefer him as the reverse Flash, as Ubard
Okay.
Thorn. As Ubard
Yeah.
Thorn.
Yeah.
Um, no, I hear that. I hear that. For me personally, I think I would prefer to see him as some other characters as opposed to the Joker. I think
Yeah.
he's sick. He's good at playing crazy. But um, there was I can't remember who I picked because I know there was those two particular people. But hold on a minute. Let me see. Because I know. Um. Okay, I can't find it. But yeah, it was definitely. It was definitely those two people. Um. Yeah. Yeah. There was someone else as well, and I forgot. But yeah, those two people I can definitely see playing Joker.
Yeah.
Definitely can see playing as Joker.
Yeah. No, maybe.
I see why you said Anthony Starr though. I do
Yeah.
see why you said Anthony Starr.
It's
I do
just
see why you said.
it's just his face.
Yeah.
I could really see it.
I
Like
can see him.
I could see that just maniacal look that he has sometimes when he's Homelander, but he could be again another brainy Joker, not just
Yeah.
crazy, just a crazy one.
Yeah. I could see him because of he seems like one of those people who's crazy, who's good at playing what's the word? Normal on the surface and
Yeah.
absolutely flipping nuts on the outside.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give you two wild ones.
Go on.
Matt Damon.
That is wild. Yeah, that is crazy. Go on.
Matt
What's
Damon, and the other one, oh God, Matt Damon, and it was just on the tip of my tongue. Matt Damon, and oh God, it's gone. Oh, it's gone.
Who's that? Who does he play? The second one?
These were for Joker.
No, no, no,
Oh,
no. But, what other films has the second choice been in? What other films?
he's
What other
been.
characters has he played? Because I might know.
Oh, it's completely gone from my head. It was Matt Damon was the older one, and it's gone. It's gone. It's gone.
Man, why'd you do that? You can't do that, man.
It'll come
Fuck.
back to me. It'll come back to me. It'll come
Cool,
back to me.
cool, cool. Matt Damon is mad, bro. What made you think of that?
If you just like picture his face, so like, even a comment like Batman, the White Knight.
Uh-huh.
It's like that older. He has the right head shape.
Uh-huh.
He has the smile. Like just for me, it's the Joker's smile, and when he smiles, it has to have an impact.
Yeah.
I feel like Matt Damon could do that,
Yeah.
or even if he played like Hush or something. Matt Damon played like Hush or something like that.
Who do you think would play a good Hush? Go on.
I was thinking. Oh, sorry, the other Joker was James McAvoy.
I was thinking that in my head as well. I can't lie. I was thinking that in my head as well.
Yeah,
He'd be a very good Joker.
yeah,
He. Do you know what I clocked here? He would play a lot of very good villains. I can't lie. He would play a
yeah.
lot of very good villains. I think when I was having this conversation yesterday with my friend, and we were both talking about that film that he was in recently. I forgot what it was called.
Oh,
The
Speak No Evil.
Speak No Evil. Yes, and
Yeah,
in that film. It really reminded us that he's very, very good at playing some sick, twisted individuals as well. And
yeah,
looks wise, because also, if only he was younger, I could definitely see him playing Wolverine as well. Like definitely see
yeah,
him as Wolverine.
yeah,
Uh, but he's very, very good, very good.
yeah.
Um, yeah, no, he's I can
In
definitely.
regards to Hush, how sick would it be? Because obviously, I don't know who. Obviously, we got an idea of who the new Batman will be. But imagine if the new Hush, if they ever brought him in, was Christian Bale.
That would be crazy. Yeah, that would be crazy. But I feel like they would be memeing on that. That's just a bit. Yeah, they just be taking the piss with that. I feel
But yeah,
like yeah. If this is gonna sound like a cop out, I can't lie.
yeah,
I think a good person who played Hush, and it's so cliche. It's Michael C. Hall who plays Dexter. Dexter
yeah,
in the TV
yeah. I
show.
get it. Yeah, for me, I'd put him in as Lex Luthor. But
Really? Okay, okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
because he just has this presence. You
yeah.
can see when when he's acting, you can see the cogs moving in
Yeah.
his,
You can see.
especially when he was playing Dexter.
Yeah.
You know, you can see he's having a conversation with someone, but he's already like 30 steps ahead.
That he says, yeah, 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 yeah,
And that's to me, that's Lex Luthor all over.
yeah, yeah. No, I hear that. I saw someone saying that he would play a good Doctor Doom. I don't know about that. Uh,
Me, I think probably.
oh, was it? Was he?
Yeah, yeah.
No, this was on the TikTok, man. This was on the
All
TikTok.
right.
Um, no, I hear that because
Again, another character who's 30 steps ahead when they're
that's
in the
true.
room with you.
But you know who I would have cast though, instead, I would have cast. I think I made a TikTok on it. Obviously, aside from Cillian Murphy, flipping what's his name, Mads Mikkelsen. I would love to
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
He'd be sick as Doctor Doom.
Yeah,
Um,
or again, like I said last time, Christopher Waltz.
Christoph Waltz, yes, he'd slap. There was, I know because I saw the TikTok that I made. Let me see who I picked because I know. Uh, Doctor Doom, Doctor Doom, Doctor Doom. Uh, where the hell is this flipping TikTok? Yeah, actors who I think would body Doctor Doom. Yeah, obviously I put Cillian Murphy, Mads Mikkelsen, um, Michael Fassbender. That's who I put.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Rami
That's a
Malek.
real good one.
Yeah, I put Rami Malek.
Yeah,
Um,
I can't do with Rami Malek at all.
and
And
Javier
I think
Bardem.
Javier Bardem,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
yeah.
Yeah, Rami Malek, I can't see it. He's too small. He's
This
way too small and way too creepy looking.
he is
He's
he potentially make a good Voldemort though. Can't lie.
Voldemort. He'll make a good rat catcher. Um,
Yeah, no, that can't. But yeah, no, overall, those are just yeah, some of my thoughts on the Joker.
yeah.
Um, but I went with my friend yesterday because
Mhm.
I don't know what it was. I've been on this whole Transformers binge, innit?
Oh yeah.
Sister came round where I don't care what anybody says about the Bay films.
Oh, Bayfilms are the best. I went about 3 weeks ago. I just binged all of them, all of the Bay films.
For me, my favorites are Transformers 1,
Yeah,
Transformers Revenge of the Fallen.
yeah,
Uh, I think Transformers 3 is where it sort of tails off, because Shia LaBeouf is still in it,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
for me, I think it dies after that when it comes to number 4 and 5. But for
yeah,
me personally, my favorite is Transformers 1, Transformers 2. I'm not going in there watching thinking of like a crazy
yeah,
well thought out plot, well written characters. I'm
yeah,
going in there to switch off to watch a CGI spectacle,
yeah,
quick-witted humor, Shia LaBeouf screaming,
yeah.
Bumblebee, Optimus Prime.
Bing!
Yeah, all of that. I'm on that. I'm on that. I'm on for the quick-witted humor, the flipping lens flare, the explosions, those really intricate, detailed transformation things
Yeah,
that Michael Bay had put in. I'm
yeah,
going in there for that, for the CGI spectacle and
yeah,
just for the chaos of it. Um, and I remember watching that with my sister because me and my sister we loved that, and we always say our favorite character is I forgot his name, but he plays Seymour Simmons, the Sector 7
oh
guy.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Carmine Falcone. I forgot the actor's name, but his energy and his
Everything exactly. His,
amazing.
his his timing, his everything about him in that within those films is great. And
Fucking
as he
phenomenal.
goes along, second one is great, and then the third one, just he balls out on that one.
Do you know what I loved? Because the thing is, I feel like he was the only person that was able to match Shia LaBeouf's chaotic energy
Yeah,
in that. And not many people were able to do that, even in the later ones. Not many people were
yeah,
able to match that energy, and it was nice to see that. I loved as well in the second one where it was Megan Fox, him, the Spanish guy Leo,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and Shia LaBeouf all in that car,
In
and
the
they're
car,
flipping, they're riding through the desert trying to get like, and it's just pure chaos, but it's funny. It's absolutely funny. And I remember, I was having this conversation with my friend as well about like what he thinks are the best Transformers, and he hated the Bay
yeah,
films. I honestly don't know why, but
yeah.
um, he put Bumblebee over them, and I'm like, whoa, hold on a minute now, hold on a minute.
What? No, no, no,
Yeah,
no, no, no.
but Bumblebee was. I'm not going to turn around and say that it was a shit
It was
film.
watchable.
Yeah, I'm not going to turn around and say that it was inherently shit film.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed the CGI fights of it, because I think that's the only criticism I'd have with the Michael Bay films.
yeah,
It was really hard to keep in touch. It was really hard to see who was who when they were fighting because it was just
yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah,
massive mesh of like robots just clanging together. Whereas in the Bumblebee film and Rise of the Beast, it was
yeah,
really clear to identify who was who.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but they were saying to me that, they liked the Bumblebee film because it was a lot more contained, a lot less chaotic,
Yeah, I do get that
less,
because obviously Bumblebee was the main character, who's joined up with John Cena and all that sort of stuff,
yeah.
and you
But I
had like
felt like,
the GI Joe bit and all that.
that was just some bullshit. But they even said that the film after that was just a bunch of dog shit, which I
Yeah,
agreed with. But even with the Bumblebee sequel, Rise of the Beasts, I'm not gonna look at it the same way that I would with Bumblebee in that,
yeah. No, John
uh
Cena one. No,
yeah, no, no. And the thing is, yes, you see with that John Cena one, I can understand if it was actually a good film. I can understand why my friend told me they enjoyed it because
yeah,
it followed a good plot. It was
yeah.
nice to see Bumblebee, playing.
Being itself, being the main character,
Yeah, and also playing like the sort of sweet, innocent car that's just trying to sort of find himself and whatever, whatever.
yeah,
But at the end of the day, it was too childish for my liking. A
yeah,
lot of the dialogue was very corny, and if you're gonna turn around and tell me that it's better than the first two Michael Bay films, because they only like the first one, but
yeah,
if you're gonna turn around and say that it's better than number two, then you need to come up with some like better shit. Because for me, when
yeah,
I'm watching Michael Bay, the Michael Bay films, especially the first and the second one,
yeah,
I can clearly say that when I'm watching it, it's not as childish.
yeah.
Uh, Modern CGI and the modern the
Well, everything, even technology, the phones, the computers, everything within it
everything, yeah, exactly,
it's today.
and everything was so modernized for that
Yeah,
particular time period. And
yeah,
You know, I get people are fans of, you know, the classic look, which I am to an extent, but just because something is classic from the comics doesn't mean it's always going to
Yeah,
translate
but
on well on screen.
you're not gonna want Megatron to turn into a giant gun
Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah.
and float in midair.
Yeah, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like I'm not trying to see none of that. I'm
Yeah,
not trying to see none of that. Do you know what I'm saying? So um I'm like, okay, well, the reasons that you suggested as to why it is that it's better than the Michael Bay films, I'm just thinking
yeah,
to myself, well, no, it's not, because the Michael Bay films, they weren't childish, they were
no,
quick, they were witty, they were a bunch of, you know, different things, and you
yeah.
know,
They were the
um,
first ones to really bring sort of my childhood to the screen, and
exactly,
was for me fantastic. Like
exactly,
even
exactly,
the opening scene alone, man, the attack on the base,
exactly, exactly. That was amazing.
the way
Black,
they
yeah,
fight, the way they shoot from the tail and all that sort of stuff, and then Scorponok is following everyone.
that was flipping insane. I loved that bit. Um,
Left
but
cheek, left cheek.
left cheek, yeah, 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 yeah. All of that was crazy, man. That was absolutely fucking phenomenal. Um, but and I thought I would like Rise of the Beasts,
Yeah.
but with Rise of the Beasts,
Give me the
uh,
Transformers, give me parts of the story, but the two main characters, sack that off, man.
yeah, nah, 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 that wasn't it. And I felt like that again. It was just too rushed, too much going on, and yeah,
Too much diversity for me. I'm wasted diversity.
yeah, all of that stuff. Um, but what I will say, when I watched, because I think I tailed off a little bit, but I watched Transformers 1, the
Oh
new,
yeah,
fucking amazing.
I've heard it.
Absolutely
I've heard it is really
amazing.
damn good.
I didn't like it at first when I first saw the trailer. I thought it was
Yeah,
absolutely childish, ridiculous, and stupid. And I thought
yeah.
it was going to be another one of these films. And I'm not turning around and saying it's an overly serious film where, you
No,
know,
no,
it's not catered to a
nothing
young
like
audience.
nothing like the turtles, whatever the new one, the new turtles
Yeah,
cartoon. I couldn't stand it. Certain parts of it were great, but it just didn't have that je ne sais quoi.
yeah, that's fair. But when I was watching this film, albeit there were elements to it that you can definitely tell were tailored towards a younger audience,
Yeah.
it was a lot more serious than what the trailer made it out to be. It was a lot
Oh,
more,
okay.
there were a lot more darker elements to it, and I was thinking to myself, well, okay, because bearing in mind, in order to make, you don't have to always include, you know, violence and gore in order to make
No.
something dark. You just need to showcase the character's mindset. And
Yeah.
sometimes when you're seeing some of these characters' mindsets on screen, you're thinking to yourself, fucking hell, like I understand that this is for a younger audience, but
Yeah.
like I didn't understand that this is what they were doing. And I'm glad. The only downside that I had is I want more. I want the sequel
Yeah.
now. Like, give
Yeah.
it to me now. Like,
Yeah.
here's my card. Give
Yeah.
the fucking sequel to me
I've
now.
heard that it is a beautiful telling of an origin story.
Amazing, beautiful,
And
beautiful telling of
from
origin
what I've
story.
heard is again is the fact that you there's nothing better than you have the heroes, you have your villains. But when you understand a villain's core story
Mm,
to why they've gone down a certain path,
yeah,
makes it so much better,
yeah.
you know?
So,
And I understand from this film, you get to understand a little bit more of why Megatron goes down the route he goes down.
yes, you definitely do. And I love how everything is all intertwined as well, because you definitely get to see the tone of the story change. And
Mm,
when it changes, even if it's so subtle, it changes and it's a notable change. And
yeah,
automatically it stops being as family friendly as what it was in the first act and
yeah,
starts going down this sort of deeper, darker, you know,
yeah.
route. And it's just like, okay, cool. So now we're starting to piece together these characters and their motives
Yeah.
and how,
And it's better that they teach lessons this way in life because
yes,
when I
yes,
was younger, everything was like black and white. It was like, this is the good guy, this is the bad guy. The good guy wants everything to stay the same.
yeah,
The bad guy wants to cause a little bit of a chaos
yeah,
change things around and almost like make things a little bit more fairer.
Yes, yes.
That go up with like you start to see the bad guys' motivations a little bit.
This is what I'm saying. And when you're watching this, you're still realizing that, well, hold on a minute. You can understand why certain characters are doing what they're doing and
Yeah.
why they're thinking what they're thinking. It's just so
Yeah.
tragic how
Yeah.
everything, pans out.
Yeah.
But and also one thing as well, I'm glad that, they did most of the character development in this one film.
Yeah.
They did most of the character development all in this one film, and they established who was who, and we got to know, who was who, what was what the intentions were. Everything was all wrapped in this film. We didn't
Yeah.
have to wait another sequel for them to, for them to finish that
Yeah.
aspect of it. That was all wrapped up in this film, which then um allows us to see what they have in store for us in the next
Yeah.
film and the
Yeah.
films after that. You know what I'm trying to say?
I get that. Again, like I said, it is the best way to tell a story. And over
100%.
the 4, 5, 6 years in like say Marvel and stuff like that, they made you care
Mm,
about the villain
mm,
from Killmonger to Zemo
mm,
to all that, even like Ultron, he adapted also the way they had it in the comics is obviously he adapted the mindset of like Bruce and Tony and
mm.
the shield around the world.
Yeah,
And every time in any film where the machines take over and want to get rid of the humans, they're just following the pattern of like humans use them wanting to make the world safer,
yeah,
but they also always realize that the only way to make it safer was to get rid of the people who keep causing all the problems and the
yeah,
wars. So
yeah. No, it's crazy the way they do that, man. Um, but yeah, overall, banging film. If you haven't
yeah,
seen it, definitely I recommend you
I'll be
watch
seeing
it,
it
man.
soon.
Seriously, watch it, watch it, watch it. Because, like I said, when I first saw the trailer, I'm thinking this is an absolute fucking joke. This is pissing me off. I
Yeah.
actually every single time I watched the trailer, it made me more angry. It made me angrier. Um, but I don't know. I think when I started going through this phase of like, I don't know, with me, when I watch something that I don't like, the Bumblebee movie, uh,
Yeah.
I didn't like it. And then when I watched it this time, I found myself enjoying it a little bit more. Not so much the plot, but I like
Yeah.
the classic designs. I like the fight scenes. I like the action sequences. I found myself gravitating towards, the classic looks as well.
Yeah.
And obviously that then was sort of further expanded when I watched Rise of the Beast. When you
Yeah. I
see
think what happens is you first of all you have expectation.
exactly,
And if it doesn't meet
exactly,
your expectation, you're kind of disappointed. The next few times you watch it, you're like, okay, now I'm in for the story. Now I'm in
yeah.
to relax. I've got that initial bit out of the way. Now I'm gonna relax and see what's actually happening.
And even the thing is, even when I watched it the first time, I remember watching it with my sister. My sister did not like it at all because I think
Yeah.
she had the Bayverse in mind, which I can
Yeah.
understand because I had that in mind. But then part of me was also thinking to myself, when watching the fight scenes specifically,
Hmm.
it's not actually that bad.
Yeah.
Fight scenes aren't that bad. I enjoyed seeing because I know as well um the first fights, not the Cybertron War one,
Yeah.
the fight between Blitzwing and Bumblebee,
Mm.
that was originally supposed to be Starscream, but because they'd already CGI'd the character and
Yeah.
did
Yeah. Okay.
everything like that, they wanted to sort of preserve the Starscream character for
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
another
Later on,
project.
as
So they
more of a big bad.
yeah, yeah. But then obviously they replaced Starscream with Blitzwing.
Yeah.
So and that whole fight scene was sick. Then obviously the fight scene at the end was amazing. The War for Cybertron part
Yeah.
was cold as well. Even though I didn't like the movie, I thought because Peter Dinklage voiced Scourge.
Yeah.
Yeah, his acting as Scourge, the voice acting for Scourge
Yeah.
was A1. All my days, it was fucking amazing because
Yeah.
his entrance of
Yeah.
"You're this planet's fearless leader." I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think like even Megatron, I don't think was on this smoke when he first came. Like
Yeah.
Megatron just wanted the all spark and wanted to
Yeah. Yeah.
create a. This guy
Yeah.
didn't give a shit. He just wanted to kill everything that was
Yeah.
in his path. Like I don't think people understand. You don't want to fuck with Scourge.
Yeah.
So Yeah, man. No, I
It's like
love.
the first time. It's like the first time you ever see Shockwave and Soundwave. You're like, oh shit.
Let me ask you then. Let me ask you because I I didn't realize that. Okay, I knew who Shockwave was.
Yeah,
But what when you seen Bumblebee obviously or
yeah,
not?
yeah.
When you saw Shockwave in what did you prefer? The look for Shockwave in Bumblebee or Transformers 3?
Transformers 3.
Yeah?
You understand how sick he looked in Transformers 3? You know how scary
Cold.
that is?
He looked cold.
You know
He
how
looked
scary
cold.
that is? Like, even when I watch Transformers 1, all of them, yeah,
Yeah.
it's always, I watch films back sometimes, and you just see some people just like driving along on the day, on the way home, or they're going to work, whatever, and a Transformer just smashes through your car. Everyone's just watching a movie, and you're like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm thinking like, you realize some family just died.
I heard as well that apparently he's supposed to be stronger than Megatron. I don't know if that's meant to be
Yeah.
true or not.
Yeah,
But
but that's the thing. Like, the thing is, like, you have to have Megatron
yeah,
because of the brains.
yeah,
Like, he will know a way and he will be ruthless enough to take out Shockwave, take out Starscream, all them.
yeah,
He's got all these maniacal psychos around him who don't do what he says.
yeah,
You know, he always holds that key. Like,
yeah,
I know how to take you down if I need to, and
yeah,
that's why I respect him.
yeah,
But could you imagine like Soundwave, Shockwave, or Starscream being like the leader?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Everyone dead. They
yeah,
won't
yeah.
even know what killing people.
Yeah. But then, okay, let me ask you something just on a little bit of a tangent.
Yeah,
Where you said the look for Shockwave was better
yeah,
in the Bayverse as opposed to Bumblebee,
yeah.
do you then consider yourself to be one of those people that prefers live action adaptations of a classic look, or are you somebody who prefers the classic looks more than the live action, regardless of how stupid it may translate on screen?
I'm someone who I like a nod to the classic,
Hmm.
but at the end of the day, the classic look was just someone's imagination.
Yeah,
It was someone's adaptation of what they think the character should look like.
yeah,
And this is how I thought, this is how they portray it to you. Obviously, you take it on as like, you're looking at it as like, it's like when you read a book and you
mm,
imagine a character
mm,
and, you're already, even if the character you're seeing in front of you, you're already imagining something different,
mm,
how you would make that character.
mm,
So when I watched, the Bayverse and the way he made the Transformers, it was like, this is how they would be. This is
mm,
how, this is the bad guys are like sharper. They got more edges, more
mm,
daggers, more like
mm. The jagged looks, yeah,
more jagged look to them.
yeah,
Like, when I see, like I said, in the third film of Transformers, when you see Shockwave going through all them buildings
yeah, yeah,
and just sidewinding up through and like
yeah,
just
yeah,
you're like, man, I couldn't be there.
yeah,
Like, I'll be screaming.
yeah, 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 100%, 100%. No, because there is that obviously there is that conversation there to be had because
Mm,
a lot of people I know, not just from my
yeah.
personal life, but just in general, they have this thing of what
People
is
want to feel
actually better.
safe.
Yeah, what is actually better, the classic look or the the adaptation. And the thing is, I'll use an example. You see, for example,
Yeah,
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
yeah.
Um, I know a lot of people they didn't like Rhino's mech suit. I
I didn't like it
personally didn't.
either. I didn't like it.
You didn't like it.
No.
I didn't have a problem with it, but I think that was mainly because I didn't know what to expect because I'd never read a Spider-Man comic before in my life.
Okay.
Um, but even then, it was like, you know, the conversation that we had now about Transformers. There's a lot
Yeah.
of people I know that didn't like the Bay Transformers and how the Bayverse Transformers and how they looked and
Yeah.
uh,
The
the
same with the Bay Turtles and stuff like that. They
exactly.
weren't exactly like how I wanted them, but I found them cool still.
Yeah.
They were obviously for me,
So,
they were way too big. The turtles should not be 9 foot tall
but then on the other hand, when you
because the
have
sewers are not
people,
that big.
yeah, but then on the other hand, when you have people that do adhere to the comics, it doesn't always translate the best on screen.
Yeah.
And it looks absolutely, absolutely ridiculous. I can't think of any examples at the top of my head, but I know there've been some in the past where,
Yeah, yeah.
some of these characters they look fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Either they're too
Um,
small. or they're too big, or it's just like,
Costumes look way too. I mean, think about it.
costume.
If you take a look at the classic look of Iron Man, he looks like a guy wearing flipping yellow tights and
Yeah, yeah,
like bits of metal, like
yeah,
red metal strapped across his chest.
yeah,
If you replicated that same look in a flipping modern day movie, it's gonna look
yeah.
absolutely
Or
stupid.
even some of the female outfits, as great as it might be for some people to look at, it's a little bit far fetched, and people think
Yes,
like she can't be doing them moves in that outfit because things will be falling out all over the place.
trust me. That's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing.
So
So
there has to be certain adaptations, but have nods to the classic
yeah,
a little.
yeah. Do you think though there's things that have gone too far? Like for example, with the rhino. Why didn't you like the rhino
Oh,
costume
the
in
rhino suit. It's because again, I grew up watching the comics, but
Right?
then if you watching the TV series and reading the comics, and Rhino is still a real guy.
Mm,
He's still there are obviously you want obviously people you need actors,
yeah,
but there are real guys out there who are man monsters
yeah.
who could have made that work
Right. Okay.
because that mechanical suit can't adapt to fighting someone like Spider-Man. It
Right.
can't
Okay.
adapt to like fighting all these other characters, because there's someone in this suit and it's mechanical and it has to do all these different things to get it going.
Mm,
Whereas like a more of a humanoid or human character
yeah.
can make those adjustments.
Yeah. But then in the Craven trailer, I don't know if you've seen
Yeah,
the
yeah,
the the guy who injects himself with the rhino serum turns into the
yeah.
rhino. But obviously,
I
that
get now.
has to
That's
do
gonna
with
be to me from what I've seen. That's the real Rhino.
right. Okay. 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 Right.
Because it has that human aspect to it.
Mm,
You know, because me from being in like a coming from like a fitness background, bodybuilding, all that sort of stuff.
mm.
I see man monsters out there,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and I've seen people go from normal to what's going on here.
Yeah. No. I hear that. I hear that. Well, okay. Well, speaking of, I guess, man monsters, so to speak, Penguin. Have you seen it?
Yes, I have been watching it. I've been watching it, and man, it's one of the best things I've seen in a very long time.
Trust me, bro. It is one of the best fucking shows that I've seen in a very long time. I
This is
swear down.
where this is where DC should put their money.
Um, I didn't think it was going to be as good as what I thought it would be. I thought, yeah,
Yeah,
cool. I fuck with Colin Farrell, but
yeah,
flipping heck, um, I I flipping love it. I still haven't watched the latest episode.
yeah,
Uh, I've literally just been packing and shit. But
yeah.
all my days, Colin Farrell,
Colin
amazing.
Farrell, the
Um,
girl who plays
Sophia Falcone.
Sophia Falcone, Victor, you
Victor,
know,
all of that, the backstory, how it all intertwines. We're
yeah,
seeing Gotham from a street level perspective.
yeah,
And
Sal
it's
Maroney, and
exactly.
it's
And it's
reminding me of one of my favorite TV shows of all time, The Sopranos.
I knew you was gonna
It's a,
say Sopranos. I knew you was
it
gonna say that. I
is
knew you was gonna say that.
a real mafia gangster style,
Yes, yes,
and it's almost making me. I feel a little bit sad, not
yeah,
in some way, because it's making me question the Batman.
really. In what way?
It's making me question why Batman targets people like this who are always around,
Mm,
and but when there's people who the top of Gotham is where the problem starts.
yeah,
Shit rolls downhill,
yeah,
and he's sometimes beating up criminals on the street just trying to get a loaf of bread.
yeah,
Obviously, there's guys who are doing drugs and
yeah,
intimidation and racketeering and all that sort of stuff. Don't
yeah,
get me
yeah,
wrong, but when he starts going with people who the court where Court of Owls starts coming in,
yeah.
you
I
see
can't
how
wait.
much of a bad time he has.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't
So
wait
it's
for that.
almost like he's got too much confidence. When I see him now, like watching the Penguin now, it feels like Batman's got too much confidence from fighting these guys.
That's true. But then equally, I always used to see Batman as a savior, but as of recent, I can't lie. Batman is just as fucked up as some of these villains out here. And the
Yeah,
only reason why, the only thing that separates him from the villains is the fact that he doesn't kill them. I
yeah.
mean, like, because if you
He
deepen it,
doesn't kill, but you know what I mean.
he
Some of the
will
ways he,
fuck you up differently. But
yeah,
And I think the only reason why he doesn't kill is because he knows that he doesn't want that on his conscience because he's gonna get fucked up. He
Yeah,
knows that, and I feel like because if you think about it, yeah, a guy who kills his parents, who watches his parents get killed,
yeah,
who then he's never really fully let that go.
no,
He then decides to go to the mountains somewhere, train with a bunch of elite ninjas,
yeah,
come back and start fighting crime
yeah,
and master all types of emotion. And bearing in mind, this is all this was all just as a result of watching his parents die.
yeah,
There's loads of kids out there whose parents get killed and this, that, and the other.
yeah,
Whose parents and relatives get killed. They're not going out. They're not holding this thing to their chest
yeah,
and dressing up as a flipping I don't know a giant rodent and
yeah, yeah.
beating the shit out of criminals because they see that they're doing the wrong thing. Um, part
But
of
then
me,
imagine if in the Matt Reeves universe they brought in Prometheus. Now Prometheus is the opposite of Batman. He watched his parents get killed by two police officers,
okay.
and he grew up similar, but his thing is he takes out the law.
Right. Okay. 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 Right. Wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's nuts.
yeah. So imagine if something like that, someone like that happened.
Yeah, I can imagine that though. But even then, like, bro, this whole thing with Batman that I'm seeing, especially because this is one thing that I learned as well from
Hmm.
well, not learned, I'd say I observed from watching Matt Reeves' Batman film,
Yeah,
is the fact that I feel like Batman does this as a sort of weird thing of therapy, because
yeah.
he's trying to recreate that moment of where
If he,
that
if he can
feeling
save
of
his parents.
yes, exactly that, exactly that. But obviously, where he's not able to bring his parents back, he's like, okay, well, let me play the person who I think would be the person to,
Yeah,
save the parents and to fix everything. I feel like he's just doing it as a massive coping mechanism. He
yeah,
doesn't give a fuck about who he's mashing up. He could not give a fuck, bro. Did you
yeah,
see in the first film where the mate is like, oh, who the fuck are you supposed to be? And
yeah,
then he beats the shit out of him,
yeah.
breaks his arm,
On
and then
vengeance.
bang, bang, I'm vengeance. I'm like, excuse me? Like
Yeah,
what? And then
yeah,
obviously through watching the film, you reveal that a lot of other individuals have taken that message and have contorted
yeah,
it. And now he's
yeah.
realized that he needs to change his ways.
Yeah,
But
the sons of Batman and stuff like that. Yeah,
exactly, exactly. And the Riddler and all of these type of people as well. But no, it was really man, this Penguin TV show, I'm really
it's
looking
just
forward to
yeah,
seeing what they're doing
yeah,
because I also, as obviously speaking of like classic costumes, I'd love it if there's like a little thing where I don't know, something happens and Penguin gets his eye cut and then he has to wear a monocle
yeah,
and then
yeah,
because he's already got the walk and then
yeah. He's
obviously
he's already got a scar on his face, so he's gonna. It could turn out
because
like a few more bits.
because I wanted to ask as well,
Hmm.
through from what I understand, Penguin is actually an arms dealer, isn't he?
Yes, arms
He is.
dealer. He deals with drugs.
Does he deal with drugs as well?
Yeah, he deals with everything.
Everything, right? Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
if it makes money, he's there.
Right, okay, okay. That makes sense. Because I remember in the last episode, they got that shipment of mushrooms or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and I'm not sure if they're gonna try and synthesize because
That's what I
synthesize
was
that
wondering.
into
I was
a
wondering
toxin or
where,
something.
yeah, where it's coming from. I'm thinking is Dr. Crane going to be
That's what
around
I'm
here
trying to
somewhere,
say. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or
Because that would be nuts.
is somehow the guy that's making sorting these mushrooms is he somehow going to be turn out to be Dr. Crane?
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see.
You know,
I
will we?
still want to know who Victor is, though. I want to know who Victor is because, or who he's gonna become.
Because I have been thinking this. Like, is Victor going to have a breaking point? Is he going to snap? Is he going to grow up to be Victor Zaz?
Maybe. Oh, that's true. That's true.
But because he's got. But the thing is, obviously, Victor comes from a very rich family, so they've
That's
already
the
ruined
thing.
that. They've already ruined that story anyway. So it can't be that.
I thought originally he was gonna play Jason Todd, and I didn't want him to play Jason Todd.
No.
Um, um, but I always thought, I read somewhere, I don't even know if I read it or if I literally just thought it. I
Mhm.
just think I thought it was that. But Roman Sionis or something, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know why that come up into my head. Um,
Yeah,
I'm
young
just
Rome.
curious to see what, what was gonna happen here, or what's gonna happen
Yeah,
next.
but
But
I'm loving the relationship between Victor and
Penguin,
Penguin.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
obviously, he didn't start out great, but he's
no,
taking him on his wing, and
yeah,
the pep talks he give this kid. He's
yeah,
just like, you can be anything, you can
yeah,
do this. And
yeah,
he's coming from, obviously he's got a messed up leg,
yeah,
he's deformed in many ways, and he's done the best he can to get to where he is. And then now he's taking this kid, and although he's pushing him into the world of crime,
yeah.
he's giving him he's giving him a north star.
Yes, he has, he
And
has.
then many people out there want someone who could take them under their wing and give them some direction.
Yeah,
Hopefully, you want it to be positive, but sometimes crime crime pays.
yeah, it does. It does. If you're in the streets of Gotham, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah,
I'm trying to say. Yeah. No, that was, yeah, that was
it is an amazing show. It's been put together so well. Matt Reeves
very,
is,
very,
hats
very
off
good.
to him. If he should get some Emmys for this at least.
100%. It's really, really good. Really good. Another show that I'm kind of looking forward to is the Lanterns TV show.
It looks like it's going to be good. It looks like it's going to be good. It looks like they're
Yes.
going to like give it a turnaround that it needs.
Yes, it does. It does. It does. Um, because I can't remember the actor. I haven't even seen Rebel Ridge, but it's the same actor.
Yeah, yeah, that guy. Yeah, yeah. He's
Yeah.
a very, very, very handsome man.
Yes.
It's disturbing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, he already looks like John Stewart somehow.
he does, he does, yeah, he does, low key. Um, and obviously I know Carl Chandler's gonna play Howard Jordan. I was kind of disappointed with that, I can't lie.
You wanting someone younger?
I just wanted a different actor. He just wasn't
Hmm.
someone that I would consider, I would think to consider as someone like Howard Jordan, you know?
Yeah.
I
No?
expected an older actor. I just didn't want really him because I haven't, he's not somebody who I think as, he's not one of my favorite actors, put it that way. He's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
not someone that I enjoy watching him act, you know?
Yeah,
Just,
I think it's gonna work. It's gonna be they're going for like already embedded, broken in Green Lanterns, not like newbie, find the ring,
yeah.
and then lost in space sort of thing. They're
I'm calm
going
with that.
for
Yeah. No, I'm calm
they,
with that. It's just the guy that was cast as Hal
yeah,
Jordan. I haven't seen a lot of good movies from him.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
all.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but he's done a lot of good TV series and
Tazi,
shows.
okay.
So
Okay.
so he does have the sitcom series chops to pull it off.
Okay.
And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how well they put this the way
Yeah.
they put this cast together.
Yeah.
And if they keep looking at what Matt Reeves has done over with Penguin,
Yeah.
they may put together some intergalactic masterpiece.
Because I know because there's one more, Guy Gardner, and I don't know if
Yeah,
he's gonna be in it as well.
he's in it.
Is he in it? Okay.
I believe he is. Yeah.
Because I forgot his name. Um
Or he's going to be in the Superman film.
he's gonna be in the Superman film, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if
So that yeah,
it's
that obviously going to be a different actor. His name is it's on top of my tongue.
Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 Nathan
If you ever
Fillion.
watched this
But
TV show, Big Mouth, there's a character
no,
in there who's in love with Nathan Fillion.
fair. But um wait, so what Nathan Fillion isn't gonna be Guy Gardner in the TV show?
No,
So what's the point in that then?
I don't think. Well, I don't think it's gonna coincide, and I think Nathan Fillion's Guardian in Superman is gonna be very small, very small part.
Because I was told that Guy Gardner was gonna be the Green Lantern in
Really
James
going forward.
DC. Yeah, going forward, yeah. When I went to the comic shop, that's what the matey fucking told me. I
Okay.
I don't know if he's right, he's chatting shit because
Well, I think we'd have to wait and see how the film portrays him and how
I'd
how
like to
good.
see John Stewart, to be honest. I'd love to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
John Stewart.
exactly. That's what people want to see.
I've been wanting to
That's
see.
the guy you want.
I don't give a fuck about a twat and a bowl cut. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I want to see John Stewart, bro. Bearing in mind, I was surprised when I found out that Green Lantern was white because the first time,
Yeah, your iteration was from Justice League Unlimited and Justice
yeah,
League.
exactly, yeah, 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 yeah. So I'm like, oh shit, okay. Um, but either or, I'm just happy with that. You know, they're doing something with the Green Lantern
They're gonna
because
do something. They're gonna like try and turn around what they did with Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, yes, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
it's looking good.
It is definitely looking good. Um, so yeah, before we wrap up,
Yep.
we did this the last time. Obviously,
Okay.
I've changed some of the characters,
All right.
but this is a little segment
Okay.
that I like to call verses, where I basically get characters from media
Yeah.
and I basically hypothesize who would win if they were in a 1v1. So
All
the
right. Cool.
first characters, I've got three characters.
All right.
It's annoying because the characters that I got last time, oh my days, they were too sick. They were too sick. But so we've done them. We've done them. But this one,
All
cool.
right.
First off, Sentry versus Superman.
Mhm.
Bearing in mind, I only know about Sentry from what it is that I've read on Wikipedia. I know more about
Okay.
Superman, but from what I read, Sentry seems pretty OP.
Yeah. Okay. Sentry versus Superman. So when I try and figure out these verses, I always try to put them in scenarios.
Okay.
And straight pound for pound, Sentry is gonna beat the crap out of Superman.
Oh shit. Don't say that to the Superman fans, man.
But hear me out. I'm playing out the scenario in my
Go on,
head,
go on, go on, go on.
and I'm gonna come to a conclusion of who's gonna win in the end. Problem with Sentry is he has split personalities,
Right.
and he, depending on which part of him is like at the forefront, he knows he at some point he has to keep his powers under control because the more he uses his good, the bad needs to come out as well.
Right, okay.
My problem with Superman is the fact that Superman always has good morals,
Yeah.
and it's very rare that Superman actually lets go. I don't think Superman's ever had a chance to really let go and show what he's capable of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So when I look at characters who have the dark side to them,
Uh-huh.
I have to put Sentry above because there's character because he's a character who it's always the guy who has the most to lose or the one who has the least moral compass
Yeah.
normally who's going to come out on
On
top
top.
because they're really ready to dig deep.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
So plus Sentry also has powers of like matter manipulation as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So I speed this up. The fight's happening. I'm seeing it in my head, blow for blow. If Sentry ends up threatening
Uh-huh.
the planet,
Yeah.
Superman will take him down.
Really? Okay.
If there's no threat to planet and they go off world
Yeah.
and Sentry just lets loose, Sentry will win.
Yeah.
Let me speed this up. Sorry. I'm gonna go Sentry.
Fair. All right, cool. Sentry
I,
of
I
a
think
Superman.
I think
Sentry of
because
a
he has
Superman.
the least he can flip into that least moral compass and he could put down Superman.
Calm. All
As
right.
long as he doesn't fly him off world really, because obviously if he flies Superman near the sun and
Yeah.
Superman charges up,
That's it. Long day. Long
yeah.
day.
So he
Okay.
needs to fight Superman at like nighttime.
Okay. Cool. You're stupid. I just got that. Cool. You're dumb. You're dumb. All right. Cool. Second one. Batman versus Punisher.
All right, scenario. They walk into a room, they clock each other, they start fighting. This one's gonna be a bit quicker. Punisher.
Swear down. You have to talk me through that.
Okay.
How in the hell did you get Punisher?
Punisher, again, it comes down to moral compass.
Uh-huh.
And Punisher isn't afraid to kill.
Right, okay.
So if they were having a bar fight, unless Batman severs a bunch of, severs Punisher's nerves in his hands and feet and stops him from being able to move,
Yeah.
which Batman most likely do or break his bones. But Punisher, they're in, let's say they're in a bar fight. Punisher breaks a bottle. There's nothing stopping Punisher from putting a glass bottle in Bruce Wayne's throat.
Yeah. But then, do you think Bruce Wayne would allow Punisher to get that close in the first place? Because the moment that bottle gets hit, Bruce Wayne's on it.
Yeah, defense wise, but is Punisher, it's a bar fight, hand to hand combat. Is Punisher's normally armed as well.
Right.
There's nothing stopping Punisher
This is hand to hand, hand to hand,
hand to
hand to hand.
hand.
Because
Hand
don't
to
get
hand.
it twisted. I see what you're saying about Punisher, but I feel like even if Punisher wins, it's not going to be an easy fight.
Oh no! It'll never be easy. Okay, let me change it. Let me put him in a cage fight. Cage
Cage.
fight.
Right. Cool. 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 Cool.
Cage fight.
Batman.
Batman wins.
Yeah. Sweet. No, I heard that.
Anything else? Any other scenario where there's
Yeah.
anything that can be grabbed and
Yeah.
shoved in someone's eye or in their throat, Punisher's gonna take it.
I was just, cool. Fair. Fair. All right.
And
Cool.
if it's a scenario where Batman's trying to sneak up on Frank, Frank's not stupid,
Yeah.
and there's a high chance he's gonna put his Glock in Batman's face and blow his head clean off.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. 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 All right. Last and definitely not least, Megatron versus Ultron.
Holy shit.
Yeah. 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 This one. This one.
Okay, scenario. Ultron obviously can take over most machines.
Yes.
Don't believe he'll be able to take over a Autobot or Decepticon.
No.
But what I do believe is, unfortunately, with Transformers, is they have open weaknesses,
Really.
more weaknesses than Ultron has.
Okay.
We've seen, I've seen it for the years from the cartoons, from everything. The way how Transformers can be put down. Obviously, you fire through their all spark.
Yeah.
You take their head with
Yeah.
enough of energy force,
Yeah.
they go down.
Yeah.
Depending on which Ultron you have, depending on what armor he has, which most of the time will be made of most of the time will be vibranium or yeah, but have his vibranium suit.
Yeah.
I believe Ultron has the mindset as well that he could take down most of the Transformers.
Okay. Fair. Do you think because this is another thing as well. I thought Megatron would have him,
Yeah,
but my whole thing is that Ultron is AI and he's constantly developing. And I don't think
yeah,
that in Age of Ultron, we saw the full potential of what it is that
yeah,
he can do. I
yeah,
feel like with Ultron as well, he's the type of person where he's constantly learning, he will probably find a way to learn the weaknesses uh,
yeah.
and I don't know, he'll probably throughout the fight, he'll probably start learning Cybertronian, like
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the
He
fight.
would, and he'll develop how to he probably use their own armor against them.
Yeah,
Probably develop an armor that go on top of his armor.
yeah,
And when it comes, don't forget, Ultron can, obviously, depending on which Megatron you have, when it comes down to being able to fly, being able to direct your shots,
yeah,
you know, we've seen Ultron's armor, deflect bullets. You've seen him go
yeah,
get smashed into the ground and like barely have a scratch.
yeah, yeah,
You've seen plenty of times he's gone up against the Hulk and he's given the Hulk like a run for his money. And I think, Hulk being
yeah,
so if Hulk ran wild on Cybertron,
yeah.
it's gonna
Fuck.
be a long day. It's gonna be a long day for a lot of robots.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Scrap metal, mate. Scrap
Yeah.
metal. Fucking scrap metal. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
So going on that, guys, I'm gonna say Ultron wins that.
Ultron. Fair enough. Fair enough. No, that's fair, man. That is fair. Very, very
I'm
respectable.
probably gonna have my comic book card taken away by the elders, but hey.
Gotta get it back, man. You turn rogue
Yeah.
now. You turn rogue. No, that's
Yeah.
fine, man. That's fine. No, but in all seriousness, um, Thanks for doing this. I really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. It's great to be back.
Guys, I will link all of Clint's stuff below, as I said earlier. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for more content. I've been your boy Nick. This has been Klynt. Make sure you go run up Through the Cow podcast. Go subscribe
Thank
to
you,
that.
thank you, thank you.
And yeah, we'll see you soon. Love.
See you soon. Bye.